Hey guys. All right, so we're live. If you don't know, we go live when we do this on Facebook and YouTube. Adorama Facebook, Adorama YouTube, Adorama TV, I guess on YouTube. So if you can't be here to see us live, you can watch us online, like if it's a rainy day. But you guys were just out, right? None of you guys know why you're even here. This is New York, so when it rains, people just go into the nearest store. So everybody here is just the people that were on the block of Adorama when this happened, right? That's literally what happens. I've bought some weird stuff that way. All of a sudden you're in this store, you're like, I don't know, why am I in there? So you just find them. In any case, I'm Daniel Norton. Welcome to On Set. This is Marissa. And Set's on the Mighty Mix. And today we're going to talk about shooting with a single light, in particular a single small flash, because that's what a lot of people start with, right? When people come to me and they say, Daniel, because that's my name, so they say my name. And they say, what should I do? I want to get into lighting. What should I buy first? What should I get? If they're looking to get flash, if they're a stills photographer, and they're on a smaller budget especially, and they don't have any particular like immediate need, if they're not like, I'm doing exactly this, usually I say start with a small flash, a speed light. You can keep it in your bag. It's very powerful, all things considered, and it can really help you control and manipulate your space, which is really what using lighting is about, right? We can all, hopefully as photographers, appreciate beautiful light when we see it. You know, so if you're out in the field and you see like a beautiful sunset or light coming through a window or whatever, and you see these things in your mind, but that's not always the time that you'll be able to make, let's say, the portrait that you want to make. You remember that light, you remember the feeling of it, and you recreate it. That's what we do as photographers, right? We make it something that we can do on our own, and a small flash is a great way to do it. There are some certain limitations to it, which we'll talk about. There's reasons, right? Every single piece of equipment that you might get or might not get, there's a reason why you get that versus something else, right? And that kind of comes down to what you're doing. But as long as you understand the limitations of the walls that you're going to hit with a piece of equipment, you can get a lot of use out of it. So I usually recommend you start with a small flash. So that's what we're going to use. We are on Facebook and YouTube, but if you guys are on Facebook and it's acting all weird, you might want to jump over to YouTube because we may lose Facebook because, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg or something. Who knows why we lose Facebook. Sometimes the stream at Facebook's a little bit weird. So if that does happen, feel free to jump onto YouTube and see us there at Adorama TV. Okay, so any special announcements? The light panels thing, did we do that? Remind me to talk about the light panels thing. But anyways, let's do this. All right, so we're going to, I'm going to work with, I'll try to say all the equipment I'm using as I go, but usually after this first segment where I say it, I forget. So if I start using something and you want to know what it is, just ask me. I'll look at it because most things say what they are right on it, which is very convenient, and I'll tell you what it is. So I'm going to use today for a camera, Fuji film. This is the GFX 50R with a 45mm lens. So this is the Fuji's like a medium format, small rangefinder style camera. And for my flash, I'm going to use a Profoto A1, which is basically an on-camera flash made by Profoto. If you've got Canon or Nikon or Sony or Olympus or whatever, they probably have their own branded flash too as well. You can use those. This is what I use. I'm going to do everything in manual today as opposed to using TTL, which is a function of many small flashes. It's very convenient because what it effectively does is it uses your camera's meter to set the flash. The only problem I have with using TTL in this case where we're teaching is that if I just put TTL on and I make a photo right here, it's just going to be right? And then you'll be like, okay, I drove all the way here and now that's all you did. So we're going to do it by hand so we understand light, because understanding is important. Once you understand it, throw it in TTL, use it in TTL. It's fast, it's convenient, we can do it. Also, this is a Nikon flash. It doesn't work on TTL on this camera. But anyways, but the real reason, Nikon shoe, yeah. So we're going to use it in manual. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with the flash on the camera. This is probably what you don't want to do in most cases, right? In most cases, we'll talk about direction of light or shaping the light. We're talking about putting the light where we want it to create the light we want. Usually, you don't want your main light or your key light to be right next to the camera lens. The reason for that, it's heavy. The reason for that is the light coming directly at somebody is going to throw shadows directly behind them. You have no control over where the shadow falls, and where the shadow falls is what's going to help give three-dimensionality to your subject. So if I want to make a portrait and I want to control where the shadows go, having it on top of my camera doesn't really allow me to do that so much. But we'll start there because it's already on the camera, so I might as well do that. So I've got Marissa here, and the very first thing I want to do is I want to establish that all the light in the space is going to be gone from my shot because I want to control the light completely. Now, and we'll get into this, Eventually, you sometimes want to, especially when you only have one light, mix lights together and use them, you know, to work together. Like if you're at a party and you want to shoot, you don't want the whole room to go black and just light the person in front of you usually, right? You want the space to be lit. So we'll talk about that a little bit as we move forward, but we're going to start this way. So basically, I'm going to set my camera so that an exposure made with no flash will give me a black frame, essentially no exposure. The way I'm going to do that today, because I like to do it different every single time, just to confuse you, is I'm going to use a light meter. This is the events light meter. This is a Sekonic 308 XU. Oh, he's so good with the switcher. This is basically one of the least expensive light meters you can buy, and it's very good. So if you're going to send me a DM, like people do, and they say, Daniel, what meter should I get? I'll probably say this one, unless you have a special need, you know, for something else. So we're going to set it on ambient, meaning it's going to read the space, the light in the space, and I'm going to set two values in here that I know. I'm going to set my shutter speed at 1/125th of a second. The reason why I'm setting it there is because that is the maximum sync speed of this camera. Not that camera, because I moved it. Okay, that I know. I'm going to set my ISO at 100 because that's the lowest ISO within the normal range. So for your camera, you might have 250 for a shutter speed, you might have 60, depends on your camera, right? Usually it's 100 for most people, but it can be 200 as well. Then I'm going to read the space. I know that I want to be underexposed by at least 3 stops. So if I put my light meter in front of Marissa and I point it towards my camera, I'm getting 0.72. Is that even a real thing? Is that a real number? What is it? No. So I'm getting 0.7. That's not a whole lot of light in here, right? So the simplest way to do this for me is I start adjusting my shutter speed until I get, this does this actually in, looks like half stops. No, full stops, okay. So basically what you can do is I'm here. Can we see it if I do that? So you see if I do this, how the aperture changes? Right? I can't see it, but as long as you guys can see it. Right, the aperture's changing. So I want to adjust, this is a little bit backwards math, but I'm just gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna adjust this down to, let's say f8, we'll say 5.6 to start with. And I can see now that I have half a second, right? So if I do my math, half a second, quarter of a second, right? 1/8 of a second, 15th of a second, I'm doing my shutter speeds, right? That's like 5 stops underexposed if I go to 5.6. That makes sense? Probably not, but that's how I do it. It's just easy. For me, might not be easy for you. You can actually just count how many times you press the button. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Now if I want to shoot at f8, I'm about 7 stops, right? Yeah, red, green, blue, right? Right? That's easy math. Because remember, everything in photography works together, right? Everything works with f-stops. So your shutter speed being adjusted, your aperture being adjusted, and your ISO all work within the same f-stop. So if I adjust one of them, the math goes the other way, right? So that's just a really brief thing. I'm not going to get into that a lot. But that's how I do it. The other way to do it, which might be even simpler for you, because why not make it easy for you, is you can look through your camera. I know, it's crazy, right? I can take my camera, I can turn it on. I'm going to set it at 125th of a second. I'm going to set my ISO at 100. I'm going to point the camera at Marissa. I said I was going to turn it on, but I didn't. Come this way. There we go. Nope, too far. There we go. Marissa's always going too far. Okay. So there she is. I'm now going to look at the little meter on the side of my camera, and I'm going to adjust my aperture until I am underexposed, which I clearly am here by a whole lot. So f8, I'm going to go to 5.6, 125, 100 ISO. Now I'm going to make a photo with no flash. Okay. Perfect. All right, good. Whew. Every single demo I do this. Nope, not that one.
How did you jerk?
I was testing to see if the camera was loaded earlier. All right, every single demo I do this, I look at it. Get into the habit of doing this. It's just a good practice to make sure where you're at. The other thing you can do now is I can grab my exposure slider. I'm using Capture One. I'm going to grab my exposure slider just like you would in any photos editing software, and I'm going to drag it over until I see Marissa. There she is. We're about 2-ish stops underexposed, right? 2.5. All right, so we know now that I have about 2.5 stops of leeway, right? That's like my shadow, right? That's where my shadow falls. I want a decent amount. I don't want it to be like 1 stop because I want to have some adjustment later, like in post if I need to bring stuff up, I don't want to start bringing the ambient light in. So 2.5, 3 stops is a good place to be, and that's where we're going to be. So before I forget, I'm going to bring my meter back up to where it was because I will be using this. I'm going to switch it to flash. Okay. All right, good. Feeling good? I haven't done anything with the flash yet, and you guys are already feeling it. It feels good. All right, so now we're going to make a quick flash exposure of Marissa. I'm going to use her to assist me because she's, you know, like magicians, like my lovely assistant. And I have Marissa. So what I'm going to do is she's going to take the light meter, she's going to put it on her nose, pointing it towards me because the light is going to be at her. And she's going to push this button on top, boop. And then she waits. It's important to make them wait a long time because you know you got to. I put my flash on here. So since I have no idea, right, exactly how much light's coming out of this meter, out of this flash, I should say, at this power, let's say where I'm at, right? You don't really know at this point. I'm going to just set it in the middle. So it goes from 1 to 5. I'm going to set it at 1 to 10 rather. I'm going to set it at 5. And then I'm going to point the thing. She's going to press the button and then let go. And then let go. There we go. She's doing that. Boom. I make a shot. There she is, right? I can see she's underexposed, but I can look here. Uh-oh, Marissa.
Oh. You had one job.
You just said that.
Set the flash.
Perfect.
Do I need to press the button again?
No, you're good. Okay. Take the photo.
You have to hold it.
Hold it.
I did. Oh, I have to keep it. No.
I don't think so. That worked. Okay. I actually think the meter, this is actually really funny. The meter, this is why I should test these things first. The meter is taking a second to bring the number up after it gets the reading, so the picture's already taken by then. So don't do that. What have we learned today, kids? That would have been so impressive. All right, so I'll do
You tried it out before you went live to 3 audiences.
Hey, listen, this is how we find stuff out, right?
Sorry.
This is how we learn. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I can see nothing because it's F0. There we go. So actually it was 2.8.5. So I'm going to turn my flash up because I want to get F8. So I'm going to go 1 stop. All right. Oh, put it close to your face. All right, I'm just going to do it this way. It's not as fun to do it this way. 8.5. All right, so I'm just going to adjust. It's not as interactive when I do it this way. There we go. All right, 8. All right, pretend like we're just doing it now. All right, we'll just fake it. Okay. There it is. Oh my God, 8.1. All right. So clearly that's a beautiful shot. Very edgy, right?
Gap.
Yeah, you can drop the meter now. There you go. So let's take a shot. If she is, she's looking like, yeah, what's going on? There we go. See that? There she is, right? There's Marissa, out of focus. I'm having a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Here we go, one more time. There we go. All right, here she is, right? Crispy. Oh, the computer is taking a moment to grab it. I realize that if you wait a second, yeah. Anyways, you can see it's creating kind of a bad shadow, right? Like not very interesting. I don't have control of it. Also because I'm kind of like squatted down a slight bit to get the rest of her body and it's going up in the air. It's kind of not very interesting, right? This is probably not what we want to do, right? Right? Probably. What we want to do is create a nicer light. And by doing that, for the most part, the simplest way is going to be to take it off the camera. And that's kind of what we're going to do here. You can do a lot of things. We could bounce the flash. Let's see if I flash up a bit. We can bounce it off of something to make it larger and nicer. First. So if we take this, hold that for me. That strap is so big. Okay, not there. I mean, we could do that, but that would not work. No, let's go with this. We're gonna bounce the light off the board, right? What's that gonna do? It's gonna make the light bigger, right? Making it bigger is gonna make it softer. It's also gonna allow us to control the direction slightly, right? Because I can go like this and bounce it, right? Turn it up a smidge. See if we can get that. Did it not fire?
I don't think it's fired.
It's gonna be on the camera.
There we go. So we can see it's made a softer light, but still the shadow is not exactly what we want it to be, right? It's kind of like off to the side. Probably an improvement on some level and something you could work with, right? If we were to mount the thing, we could bounce it off a wall. We could do a lot of things like this, right? You definitely could work with it. But we're gonna jump right into, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that camera.
I'm definitely gonna drop it. All right. I like having the giant flash drop my camera, so we're gonna get it off the camera because we don't wanna have it on the camera anymore. It's definitely more than I want. So the first thing I almost always do, unless I'm running around at a party doing something like an event or something, I don't necessarily want to keep the camera, the flash in my hand on the camera, even though I can bounce it. I'd almost always take it off the camera. So we'll start by just putting it onto the C-stand. I've got like a little tripod ball head. This is like a homemade Justin clamp since it's not making the Justin clamp anymore. Yeah. It's sad, but basically I'm going to be able to mount my light onto this shoe. And essentially, we've got built-in radios here. The vast majority of flash systems have built-in radios now. If you don't have a built-in radio, you could get some kind of third-party radio as well to do this. So this is in channel 3. It is group A. And with this, I can move the flash to put it where I want, right? So now if I want to have the flash in a way that I'm going to direct the shadow off the scene, let's say, I can move the flash more to the side, right? Because by moving it to the side, we can see that her shadow will go that way for the most part, right? So even though it's still kind of a hard light, we could put it over here. I'm going to get my little controller. I'm hiding it down here. This is a remote, like a Profoto remote. This is the non-TTL one, because like I said, we're not using TTL today. And we're going to make an exposure off camera. You want to point your meter at the light source when you're doing this. So we're going to basically, now the light source is over here, right? As opposed to being on my camera, so I'm going to point the meter this way. And again, I'm just trying to get, let's say we get f8. Why not? I'm just adjusting the flash down. There it is. All right, now we have f8. Now our flash is more to the side, right? So we can get a little more control. Simply put this on top of the camera. Simply. Good. Set my camera to f8. Let's see, we'll line this bad boy up. Good. All right. We're still going to have a hard light. It's still going to be kind of, really crisp shadows, but we've got control, right? Not only is the light kind of coming from one side now, so we don't have that shadow on the background. The background in general is darker, right? The background's darker because now not as much light's hitting it. So we can control this now, right? Clearly, if we don't want to do this like half lit, by the way, I'm shooting in grayscale. Nobody's noticed it so far. I mean, I'm doing it on purpose, but we decided we were going to do that today. Nothing online, nobody knows we're shooting grayscale? All right, they don't care. All right, good. All right, you don't care we're shooting grayscale. All right, so we probably don't want to cut her face in half, right? We want to think about the direction of our light. So I'm going to have Marissa turn her nose towards the light, more or less. And if you're kind of curious as to where the light's coming from, like if you if you want to do that, you can look through the camera or stand in front here and pop the flash and get an idea of where it's coming. So we can go like that. And now we're going to create more shape, getting some light on her entire face, right? So we can kind of control that. And if it's getting too dark on that side, I have to shoot left-handed? Is that even possible? No, I got it. I am. Well, this is a speed light then. That's your thing is speed lights, I guess. Right, we can fill in a little bit like that. Has he ever done it like that, reverse left-handed? Probably not. There you go. You do it better, you just don't do the same thing. All right, now we've got a nice kind of lit shot. And honestly, right, what I'm using here, by the way, you know what this is? Foam board. Do you know what this is? This is a Brooklyn Reflector. Thank you. No, this is a piece of foam core, exactly. It's white foam core. It is, if you buy it at the arts and crafts store, it's what, like $2? If you want this one that Seth made, $300. It is silver on one side, right? But we could take this very simply, right, with our one small flash. So the rule, right, with this is anytime you do something and you're going to be doing it over and over again, you should put it on a light stand because there's no reason to be holding it. That's the rule of lazy, I call it.
Good rule to live
Yeah,
by.
good rule to live by. That seems about right. That's where I had it, right? I don't know, I was left-handed. So we bring that up. I'm going to bring that in. Marissa's like, oh my God. Right, even from there, right, we're going to get decent light even though she's not looking at it because we have fill, right? So even though I'm lighting her from the side again, the stand's throwing the shadow. Even though I'm lighting her from the side again, it's filled in, right? Simple as that, right? Nice and easy, just like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's the stand, right? That's so interesting. Look at you throwing a shadow back there. No, you're good. I think so too, right? But I can't, 'cause I don't have any other flashes. That's a weird shadow.
That's a weird shadow.
Sometimes you get a weird shadow and you're like, hold on, is your hair in a bun?
No, it's in ponytail.
Yeah, it's her hair, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but we're taking.
You have like an alien shadow back there caused by your hair. You've ruined the shoot.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
God, this is why you shouldn't work with Marissa. This is terrible. No, all right, that's what it is.
I can put it in the bun.
No, it looks perfect. I love it. I love it. You can do that. Do that.
What, do this?
Yep, do exactly that. She's like, oh my God, my hair's up in that thing. Oh, like that, right? Yeah, now she's got her hair up, so you don't see her so much. Right? So again, we're just bouncing the light. What's nice about a hard light is that even though it gives shadow, which a lot of times people are, oh, that's shadowy, it's going to give you shape, or it's going to give you the ability to shape the light. So you can definitely use it for some character, right? It has a feel to it, a certain feel to it. However, that being said, a lot of times people tend towards a softer light source. So we can create softer light by either kind of, instead of doing what we just did there, right? I could do this. This is why I shouldn't have put this on a short stand, but it's okay. It'll be tall enough. Go like that. Like that. Something like that, right? What do you think, Marissa? That seems right, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you're not sure to test the model, they always know. Models are good like that. That seems about right, right? So we're going to look at it. We're going to be like, is that going to work? Then we're going to go like this. That seems about right. Good. Now, I got to turn the power up on the light because I'm bouncing it now. I'm turning it about 2 stops because that's what I lowered it when I moved her the first time. So I'm assuming that's going to work. There we go. Right? Now we've got what? Nice, soft light, right? It's got some style to it. It's got some pizzazz. Does it have pizzazz? A little bit. A little bit of pizzazz, right? So we started here-ish, right? Well, actually, right? That's just kind of bouncing it when I was holding it in my hand. Just putting it on the stand and kind of manipulating where it is and posing her to it. It really makes a difference, right? We still have the shadow over here. But now we've got, Marissa looking all fashiony and edgy, right? Does seem a little tiny bit underexposed, but we can turn the power up if we want. Yeah, it looks like we got to turn the power up. If you're ever curious about your exposure, I think that's about the right exposure. I'll just turn the power up. Stop. Cool. Let's try one more. So I have this for my Daniel Norton catalog. There we go. Yeah, and there she is. She's nice and lit again, right? Nice and bright, looking like I'm Marissa, right? And that's basically what we got going on. One single flash, making it really easy. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Going too fast, too slow, just right? Kind of like, I want to say Little Debbie, but it's not Little Debbie. Little Debbie are those treats.
They said your shirt looks terrible in black and white.
Oh.
What do you mean? What? Nothing. Everything looks worse in black and white. No? Kodachrome? Lyrics? No?
I'll give you a pity clap. One clap.
I went deep on that one, guys. I really went deep on that one. But if that's what you're gonna, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna take a moment. All right, so we can bring it back into color if we want. So just so you know, I mean, I'm shooting raw, so it can be color after. We just thought we'd be black and white today. Just so you know, that's what I'm doing, just in case it is confusing for people. I have my my setting here. I can just go, here we go. Oh, look, there she is. What do we like? Classic chrome. Cool. That's a little warm. I kind of like it in black and white, though. Oh, wow. For some reason, I shot it at 10,000 Kelvin. I think because I had it set on, there we go. No, black and white's much cooler, right? Yeah, nobody likes color. Okay. Cool. All right, so now that you mastered this, right? Already, good, mastered? Okay, good. Now that you've mastered kind of just taking your flash and putting it on a stand and using a piece of cardboard, now you got to go to the next level, right? We're like, oh, I'm ready for the next level. So we got to get ourselves something to modify the light, right? Because the only issue with this, or the biggest issue, is that you're lacking control, right? We're making the light source bigger. We're kind of spreading it around, making it look nicer, but we can't really control it and put exactly where we want it. We're going to be very limited, right? You can do it with just the bare head, but then we're limited to really hard light, which we don't necessarily always want. So what we want to do is make our light softer by making it larger, but also get a measure of control. And to do that, we're going to add some kind of modifier to our light. So in this case, a softbox. Oh, I took 2 flashes out. Don't worry, I'm not going to use a second flash. That would be cheating, right? Because it was supposed to be 1 flash. Marissa wanted me to use 2 flashes, but I'm not going to do it.
Thanks.
She was like, please use 2 flashes, sir. Oh, hold
Please,
on,
sir.
before I do that. Seth has convinced me that this is an excellent thing. It's
It only took 2 of them, right?
It's the Bonnet soft bounce from ProPhoto. So what this is going to do is it's going to make our light larger slightly, right? It's also going to make it more diffuse because we're bouncing the light, right? And what's cool about this is it kind of looks like a bonnet. That's the name of it. And when you put it on, it's like cute, right? You're like, oh, that's cute. What I like to do is put this little guy inside of it. Am I doing it the right way, or am I doing it backwards? Can I not do that? I'm doing Seth's thing.
Take all of it.
I'm taking all of Seth's thing. Next week, Seth's doing a speed light class. It's literally this. Okay, so I've got that on. The light is, yes.
Wait, what did you just put in there?
Oh, yeah, see? Oh, he wants to know.
Go.
Oh.
You see that?
Oh, okay.
This is the Dome Diffuser by ProPhoto. It's like a little bowl that you could put like soup in or something, but it's actually for the light. So let me show you better. So this is going to scatter the light, right? Scattering the light, it's also of a kind of a translucent material. It's going to diffuse the light, right? So it's going to do 2 things. It's going to make the light more diffuse. Diffusing your light will bring your highlights down and make it flatter, right? By bouncing the light in all different directions, if you're in a space where walls and stuff are around you, or you're inside of a softbox, like we're going to use it in there, or you're inside of this, it's going to scatter the light better, right? Okay. Now, these notoriously fall off whenever I use them. All right, so not if you put it on the special way. I've got this on here. It's going to give me a measure of control. It's a little bit bigger. If you want to have like the tiniest photo studio in the world, right? You've got this right here. Isn't that their thing? It's tiny photo studio. Make the world your studio. Oh, fantastic. That's so catchy. All right, so let's do a beauty shot. What do you think? But not too close. Okay. We're not getting too close. How much do we lose in this? We'll find out. Maybe a couple stops. Did it just droop? It drooped on me. You saw it droop? I don't know. Do you think we need a sandbag for this? It's kind of light.
Like it's like Captain.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Captain Morgan it. Nice. This is why you need good models, right? You got Marissa here. She's Captain Morgan in it. Yep. Wow, you almost dropped my light when you did that. Okay. Hold on. I have to sneeze now because all that dust came off that thing. God, sorry. He's killing me over here.
My goal is to get one stream where you pull your inhaler out.
Right. Just, oh, okay. You want to sit down?
Or when you're adjusting the light.
Marissa, would you like to sit down? All right, perfect. It's always important to let them all sit down. Can you move forward, though?
Yeah.
Why am I moving her forward? That's right, I'm just keeping the shadow out the background. Also because she dared to sit down without asking, so she's going to have to get up. Yeah, come forward a little bit more. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to bring this light in. I had it all set, and now I have to move it because she sat down. I did have it set. All right. I have never used this before in a live demo, so this is very exciting.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, we're going to find out what's going to go on. He that's convinced me it's really good. He took a good shot with it the other day. All right. He takes a good shot with it every day. All right. That look pretty good? What do you think?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like, why'd you make me buy this thing?
Yeah, right, exactly. I have two. Just like, buy these. All right.
I was going to buy them off you if you hated them.
Yeah. I'm using the modeling light because I'm cheating. Oh, yeah, that's good. Your eyes are so blue. And nobody's going to see that because we're shooting in black and white. All right, so I'm going to meter this with the light meter in my hand. Here we go.
Oh,
I cannot put this up correctly.
it's like the Charlie Brown
Yeah,
tree.
exactly. It's like the Charlie Brown tree. The new improved ProPhoto A1 Plus or whatever, that doesn't happen. A1X. I didn't get to do that video, so I don't know. All right, 16.4. So I'm getting 16.4. That seems about right. 6.3. So this meter, this controller, is it moving? It is, right? Yeah. Allows you to control it remotely. That way I don't have to reach up here. I can just do it right here. Because why should I have to reach that far? That'd be like torturous. All right, here we go. I made it a little bit hotter because when I shoot beauty stuff, I like it to be hot. All right, guys, you excited? You're feeling it, right? This is the softbox, the bonnet, as we like to call it. Never before done here, live, before you in Adorama tonight. By me. Seth does it all the time, apparently.
We'll do it again next week, don't worry.
Chin up and switch. Good. Okay. No, that's terrible. It's interesting. Okay, what are we missing? Another one, but I can't use two. All right, so. Oh, I need my little doobie. You know, I'll just hold it. All right. I need to make sure I can see my glasses.
Oh, you want me to smile?
Do you want to smile?
Well, if it's a cat.
I would never
shirt.
I would just never just tell you to smile. Like
Like is it dramatic? Do you want the theme of the shirt to be dramatic?
it is a very dramatic shirt.
All right, then.
That's a dramatic face, really. Okay, hold on. That's beautiful. There we go. All right, so we bounce a little bit of light in. There we go. Fills it in a smidge. That's kind of cool. No, not enough. You want more? You want silver?
We gotta change the location of it.
I move it back, right? And up. Oh, I always grab the broken C stand every single time.
Did you really?
Yep, every time. The one that gets stuck at the top.
Oh, that's not the broken one. The broken one is that one.
Nice.
I mean, they're always gonna come up, so.
That's fine. Cool. Let's see what that looks like. Nice. Yeah, a little better, right? So what I do there, I back the light up, right? It's already a hard light source, so I'm not really trying, there's no way I'm gonna make this really soft because it's so small compared to her head. So backing it up a little bit is gonna give me more spread, right? Because when light leaves your source, it spreads out, right? So since I wasn't getting enough fill, right? I back the light up, it's spread out more, it's bouncing up more, we get more fill. We get that like lack of catch lights. Oh no, there's a little bit just from the reflector. And kind of spooky eyes. But it's kind of interesting, right? We're creating this kind of like more dramatic shot again with a small on-camera flash. Did I leave the modeling light on? Yeah, I did. Okay.
Is your head zoomed out?
Is my head zoomed out? It's all the ways wide actually. So yes. When you have a small flash, you could zoom the head. Many of them tighter and wider. And the reason that you do that is because, you can do it for creative effects, but the reason it's designed is that when you have it on your camera, when you zoom your lens or put a different lens on, the flash will zoom to the proper focal length, giving you the maximum coverage without wasting light, right? So basically, when I take it off camera, I normally zoom it out all the way to give me the most wide spread. Make sense? Cool. All right, let's get to some bigger modifiers, right? Man, when the air conditioner goes off, it gets so quiet. Make them scream. No, I don't make people scream. Don't worry, I won't make you scream, guys.
You gotta take my whole demo.
I gotta take that part, yeah. I can never take that. All right, I'm gonna give lots of speed lights to people in the audience.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so.
Yeah, you remember that though?
Yeah. Well, I remember when Joe McNally did it. All right, so. Here is a softbox, right? If you wanna be a cool photographer, this is what you wanna use. All the cool kids use these. It's soft because it's right in the name, softbox. No, it's soft because it's big, right? Relatively speaking. This is not a tremendously soft light because it's not huge, but if you look at it compared to Marissa's head, it's bigger than her head, right? Bigger than our head means it's gonna be soft for a portrait. So we're gonna, for a second there, I thought you had your foot on that. We're gonna swap this out. I did not do that right. I gotta watch your C-stand video. All right, so watch Seth's channel for C-stand videos and other good content. All right, so this is 16 by 22. This is one of my favorite boxes. So if you want to be just like me, you can get this box. And I won't say anything, even though if you try to use Seth's box, he'll be like, "That's my box. Don't use my box." So. I'm gonna put the dome on there, right? Because what did I say? When you put the dome on, it bounces the light all around. I want it to bounce around in this tiny little room that is a softbox. It's gonna make the light bounce all around, give me a nice even fill. That's what we want. So now, softbox in. So we're gonna run through a couple of kind of basic lighting patterns here. That's odd. Okay. First, we're gonna light her kind of 45-ish from here. She's gonna look like this, like all dramatic, right? Yeah, exactly. And then with the chin up, like. This is. I call this the Dramato pose light. I'm gonna start naming everything. I need better naming conventions, though. We need better Dramato poses, probably not. There was this painter. This is the weak knuckle, of course it is. Yeah, more like this.
At least it's a small box,
right there. Small box, weak knuckles. All right, so I'm gonna meter the light as usual. It's like playing Pac-Man or Zelda. Zelda goes over better because that's like people know that one. It's very quiet when you do this. All right. Here we go. So we're at 8. Marissa's in the fancy pose. So you should be like, I'm fancy. Yeah, there we go. Now what the fancy pose is going to do is going to give us light from one direction, throw some shadow on the other side of her face. Right? just like this. Right? Ooh, fancy pose. She's like a statue. Oh, you can almost say she's statuesque.
Oh.
But not really, though. All right, so good. A little reflector in there for some flavor, if we like that, right? Now she's like modern clean. She's like, this is my LinkedIn profile, right? Nice and clean, softbox. This is gonna be the thing you wanna shoot a quick shot for somebody for their LinkedIn, whatever. This is a good, simple lighting setup. One light, right? We're letting the background go a little bit dark because it separates her out, you know, because of her complexion and because of the way we're lighting her, she pops, right? If that wasn't the case, you could either use, the background's kind of a light gray. If we wanted the background to be brighter, we could back our light source up. By backing our light source up, it will spread out more, just like I showed you with the other thing. Thus, it will hit the background more. So we could do that, inverse square and all that. Can also go like this slightly to get something to creep past her. Still gonna be darker, but we'll get some light back there, right? Back it up a smidge, go like that. So now we're just tweaking, right? We're tweaking the direction of the light. But remember, when I back it up, it's gonna get a little bit harder, but this is already a relatively soft light. If I back it up too far, it's gonna start to get really hard. So we gotta play with it a little bit, but let's see what that does. So look right at me like all LinkedIn and whatnot. There we go. So again, no reflector, so we're gonna get some shadow. Right, but now, oh, exposure's down. I guess when I move the light, I should change the exposure. Let's try that again. Right? Again, shadow, but we're getting some light on the background. You could almost, that resembles some kind of, no, I don't know what it is. All right, let's try it again. Acros profile.
What grayscale?
There we go. I think it is actually. Actually, when it comes in here, it actually jumps into generic, but I could actually set it to be, ooh, let's do red filter. There we go. All right, beautiful, right? Now we've got the background's gray, right? And why is the background gray? Because I added that extra, no, I didn't add an extra light, did I? I backed the light up, right? We're using the nature of light, the fall off of light to control our environment. Now we have a gray background, right? We've got gray background, we've got dark background, right? In the dark background, she's a little more like, hi, I'm Marissa. And in the gray one, she's like, I'm Marissa, right? So, you know, it depends on the look you're going for. In both cases, I'm using the silver reflector because I think it gives a little spark to it with this particular person. Depending on who you're shooting, you might want to use the white. It really depends on your subject. That's why it's white on one side and silver on the other. Yep. All right. Softbox, position 1. Position 1. It's like that. Is that position 1?
Oh, wait.
Hold on. Who's a ballet person here? All right. What's position 1? Let me see the position 1. You are? Yeah.
I smell lens choice because she wants the story.
Lens choice. Like this?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm just in ballet here, guys. So I'm using a 45mm lens. I like to use kind of a widest lens for portraits. Sometimes I think it really brings out the character, and since we're going for kind of a simple portrait today, that's what I'm using. You could use a longer lens if you like. They do make a 110 for this, but I didn't want to stand like next door to shoot either. That's just, so. You're gonna find, I think if you start perusing more and more portraiture, that, I'm about to get controversial. It's happening, Daniel's getting controversial. Okay, so when you pick up those old dusty photo books, they're gonna be like, you wanna be a portrait photographer, you should stand 3 meters away from your subject and you should use a 93mm lens with the f2.8. Look at what's popular, look at what's going on. A portrait is telling a story, it's a conversation, right? So yeah, long lenses do compress, they do, on some people, make them look better. But the reality is more and more portraiture is being done with wider and wider lenses because society is getting used to that because everybody's looking at themselves constantly on their phone and their computer. People are used to seeing themselves with the wider effect. So yeah, they might look at a long lens portrait and be like, oh, I look so different or whatever, but this is kind of more comfortable. It's more real for most people to be a little bit wide. So that's why I tend to shoot wide in portraiture. You'll find if you just start perusing magazine covers to look at celebrity portraits and stuff, you won't find that many unless they're, various particular people that are long lenses. It's just not what people are doing. So I try to, be trendy, clearly, with my Barb shirt. You see, I got my Barb, Search and Rescue, Barb, right? Nobody cared about Barb. What's up?
No, that was season 1.
I know it was season 1, but I gotta.
Yes, seriously.
I still care about
Get
her.
over it.
I won't. I will never get over Barb. Barb lives on. Okay. All right, so that's nice for the kind of a standard portrait. I'll switch lenses,
Oh, yeah, they're all Daniel. Switch lenses.
just to show the difference. Fuji pays me 75 cents every time I change the lens, so I got to make some cash here. All right. I'm going to switch lenses just to show you guys the difference. Because one thing that you should never ever do when you're watching some YouTube video or something and there's some photographer up there telling you something, never just take that as what's the truth, right? Because there's a lot of people up there who are going to tell you a lot of things. You've got to look at it for yourself and make your own decision.
All right, I'm going to hold on to this.
Seth's going to hold on to that one. Look at that sensor. All right. F8-ish. I probably don't need to be this far away. Hey, Marissa. All right. Longer lens. Looks. Oh, why is it so shadowy? Oh, longer lenses look terrible. Oh my God, what's going on?
You're too far away to hold the
I came too far away to hold the reflector.
You got a long arm.
Silver. Yep.
You're asking me for a coffee shirt.
All right, there we go. There she is, the long ones. So if you like that, right, it looks fine. I'm trying to find the equivalent. That would be this one, I guess. Well, no, hold on. That's this one. It really depends on what you like, right? Each. All right, don't try to steal the show. Jeez. You let somebody up for 1 second. All right. It looks fine, right? Whatever. I'm switching back.
Are you going back to this?
I'm going back. I like that one better.
Okay.
I would like the 63, though.
We could have grabbed it for you, right?
No, you didn't know that.
Could have grabbed it off this. Okay.
I don't know
Put
what
it
to do.
down. Attaboy. Okay.
This is well rehearsed. Clearly.
Hey, do the light meter trick again. Do the light-
I've never seen that happen before. With my light meter, it actually works. I swear.
I can't wait to bring that up in like a week.
This is my first time. This is my first time ever doing anything. Thanks for coming, guys. This is my first time. All right. So let's say that you've done this position. You're like, oh, man, I've already done that position. And, everybody's doing that now. I want to do something different. So if I'm photographing especially a female subject, I tend to like to put the light in the center. The reason why I put the light in the center is because it creates a more even light over the face, generally is more flattering. So we're going to do that. It helps narrow the face slightly depending on your light source. So, although I don't need to narrow the face because Marissa is quite narrow. No, because I'm using a wider lens, which automatically does that. Narrow-faced is good. Narrow-faced. That'll be the new thing, right? First, the other one was... Yeah, we scared that guy away, I think. I'm not bringing it up. All right. Whenever you set up the light like this and the mall is not in the right spot, you could either move her or move the light, but I'll move the light. Is this the knuckle that's not going to stay for me? Is this the cheap one?
No, it'll.
Okay, good. As long as it stays. No, I don't need you to set it up. I just remember the one was drifting on us that one time.
Yeah, because you got a 5 foot act on that thing?
Yeah, well, I like my big lights.
When you have this shady knuckle, third party burning.
Shady Knuckles. Shady Knuckles was actually my first band.
What?
Come on, that's a cool name, Shady Knuckles.
First probation.
All right, we're gonna put the light kind of in front of her. Actually, I'll slide it back. Slide it back a smidge. That looks pretty good. What do you think? Does that look good? Always ask the model if it looks good.
Good.
Yeah. Light meter. I could ever hold it in front of her. That doesn't work. Okay. It's like F-Zero. What? F-Zero? Oh, that was good. Phew. This is my life, guys. This is literally the way I live.
This is when you think you've done so much you can do without testing.
Well, my meter, it works. I'm gonna. By the way, follow my Instagram because I'm gonna do it on my Instagram stories. And it'll either be funny because it won't work, or it'll be epic because I'll be showing you off. Okay, here we go. All right, once again, I've just set my light. I've got it more or less centered. She's gonna be like more beautiful now because it's more of like a beauty position. So be more beautiful. It's important to give Miles direction. Be beautiful. There we go. Maybe it's Maybelline. All right. Oh, I did catch you mid-hand. That's the very Avedon. You like those awkward hands. Yeah. Maybe just have your hands not.
I was trying to just pull my hair.
Okay, you're gonna pull your hair back? All right. She's gonna pull her hair back. We're working together. It's a team. We're a team here. All right. That's it. Be all beautiful. I'm beautiful. Good, good, good. Here we go. Right, so now, right, nice even light. If she looks up towards the light, we get nice even light on her face. If she starts to drift her chin down, right, we're gonna start to bring shadow in. Right, and again, shadow isn't necessarily bad, right? It can be your friend. It just adds a little bit more nuance. Nuance. And I have Brooklyn Reflector, yeah, exactly. Jeez, guys. It's like I go away for a couple of weeks, they forget everything. What? Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do it all official now. Whenever you're doing something that's more like beauty, you always make it official. You gotta just knock that thing down. This is a flag. It looks like somebody stepped on it. Why is it bent?
Yeah, last night was rough.
Okay, last night was rough. I do have a clamp, actually. You're gonna clamp it? Oh, that's awesome.
That way you can pivot it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you not care about
No, I care about the pivot. I like it. Let's see it.
You want silver?
Yeah, please. It's nice, right? If you're just like in the middle of a shoot and Seth walks in, just let him do it. I recommend highly.
Then you'll do it as your next demo like you did it yourself.
What?
Okay.
What's up with those legs, though? Why are they all
Yeah,
goofy?
somebody wrecked the base. I had to re-screw that.
Oh, okay.
You want to just do
Let's
it
get it
opposite?
right in there here.
I'm just going to do it opposite.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're getting there now. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Yeah? Good. I'm feeling it. We're going to move the light in. We're going to move the reflector in. I'm going to do this with my hands a lot when I talk because it's important. Okay? Seth's going to use the modeling light to test it. All right, guys, this is very advanced what we're about to do right here. I'm going horizontal. All right, wish me good luck here. I don't know if we can do it. Yeah, okay, we'll try it. Left or right?
Left.
Okay. Okay. Phew.
Oh.
What, no applause? Jeez, come on. Too centered for you? You wanted it more left, didn't you? Yeah, he wanted it more left. That's why he's looking at me like, that's not left enough. Fine. Always a critic. Better? Or did you mean left the other left? Okay, all right. He's like, what? You do look young. This is what you do to make Marissa look young. Marissa Young setup. Is that more or less in focus? All right.
Look at that. You still got it, kid.
I still got it when the autofocus kicks in. When it goes green, that's when you press the button. Not red, apparently. Who knew? I mean, I didn't know. All right, so there we go. That looks really nice. Marissa looks decent, as usual. Someday we'll get it a little better than decent, but for now, I would like to see my shirt more in the thing, though, so I can just, okay.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. But too much tummy there. Come on.
Oh, I didn't know.
This is Adorama. Yeah,
You should have just brought the puppet.
I should have. All right. Perfect. All right. Whew. I'm done, guys. You can, just do whatever you got to do. That one won't be in focus, of course, because I just missed the focus on the good ones. No, it is. Okay. Okay. Softbox, right? Simple. Centered. Well, it's actual proper, right? Centered, pretty. Again, just a simple reflector coming in. Right? We've got. Ooh, 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 ooh. I guess I could use the hand tool to do that. Right? And we've got the more side shot, right? So depending on the light you like, right? The shot from the side has some more texture, some more depth because I'm shooting it, throwing some shadow. This one, there's shadow, but the shadow's going down, right? It's underneath her, so we're not really seeing it as much. It's shaping the face slightly different and creating a different look to it. Make sense so far? Easy, right?
Can you do one with the other side of the reflector?
Oh, with white?
That's
Sure.
That is the question.
Can we do one with white? Marissa, the white side, please.
It's like a magician.
I'm like a magician. I'm going to steal Gavin's thing. So Gavin told me that his superpower was that he can stop time. As a photographer, he stops time. That's kind of good, though. No?
I'm waiting for you to shoot that.
I thought that was awesome. I laughed out loud. I actually literally laughed out loud. Sorry, Gavin. I guess it's not as funny when I say it.
You gotta say it like that.
Well, that I cannot do. And there's with white, right? So silver or white, depending on your style and your flavor. Okay. What does white do? White doesn't fill as much, right? It's a little bit less specular, it makes it a little bit darker in the shadows, which means we're going to see a little bit more detail there, especially in black and white. It shapes the face a little bit different, a little nicer for some people, a little bit less nice for other people, depending on the style that you like. Right? Make sense? All right. Cool. That was easy. Now, that's the softbox. Let's do one more. Let's do something more dramatic, because this is the time of the day that I do this shot. Cool. So we can also use our single light to create, remember in the beginning, we were throwing shadow around and shaping the room. We can still do that with a softer light to make it more gentle on our subject, but still have kind of contrast and shadows and stuff. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave the softbox on there. Yeah, all right, I'll just fix it. I was going to just switch stands, but I'll just do this. Okay. So, I'm going to take my softbox. Going vertical with it. I know it's crazy, right? All right, we can move the softbox back further, right? We can create shadow on our subject. Look off this way. Well, you probably can't even see that. I don't know why I even bothered to do that, because they can't see the bottom line, right? It's not nearly bright enough. Yeah, do you think they'll be able to see it if you do? Yeah. Okay, that's easier. So we can see how we're bringing this light in, right? So we can actually create mood, right? I can put her almost completely in shadow by putting it back behind her. I can move it more this way. And remember, I can move my subject, right? So I can have Marissa turn towards it, right? To create kind of a softer, yet kind of shadowy, moody. It's always important as a photographer to take those moments where you just stand in front of the model and do this. Because then they think that you're doing something. It just doesn't really do anything, but it makes them feel better. You're like, yeah, good. All right. Also, advanced move here. We saw horizontal, we saw vertical. Oh.
Whoa.
I know. You can put the softbox, right? It's crazy. It's nuts. This is advanced stuff here.
This is creative exposure.
This is creative exposure. Take your softbox and put it on an angle. All right, so we've got our thing, right? We can flash it. I've got my light meter always handy because I hang it on my stand. I'm going to point it towards the light. Caroline. Oh. It was correct. Who'd have thunk? What do you think, Marissa?
I think
Let me give you a little bit of light.
Give me some light, please, sir. All right. You ready? Okay. We'll bring Marissa in. What? That's.
Your shooting stance is the funniest.
Hey, this is a Moody shot here.
I mean,
Here we go.
oh,
Right.
That's a Dan shot. Oh, it's so Daniel. Look at that.
I also went.
Eyes are, wow,
Her eyes are dilated.
dilated.
That's because of the dilation of the eyes. All right, so we're creating this moody light behind her, right? Kind of sweeping through. I think I'm going to actually get a little more of you on the shot. Right? So I moved her over to the right because it's my show. I can do what I want. All right. Right? Now we've got mood, right? Single light, mood coming back. Now, even though this is properly exposed, it's going to always seem brighter because it's coming from the back. So what I might actually do is dial down my light a smidge. I like that. You falling asleep back there? Give me some coffee. I know it's getting late.
6 o'clock.
I'm an old man.
I missed the early bird special. I'm going home.
All right, sorry, I'm just messing with you all. All right, so we can, look at eyebrow threading. All right, so
Focus on the far eye.
focus on the far eye. No, it's focused on the near eye.
No, I'm just curious if you focus on the.
Nah.
Do it.
You want me to?
Yeah, I want to see that texture on the eyeball.
All right, I'm going to focus on the far eye, even though that is breaking the rules.
Oh no.
I'm a rule breaker.
Oh, you're crazy.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I'm kind of focused on the bridge of her nose a little bit, I think.
No,
Yeah, there we
look
go.
at that.
Yeah, there
Look
we
at
go.
that water line. Look at that.
Look at that water line.
You go surfing on that thing. Look at that.
I like that. I need those cool, you can go surfing on the water
Venus
line.
fly trap of lashes. Amazing.
Right? Now we're creating something moody with some space, right? I'm using actually the top of the shirt to add that little like anchor. I was cropped in tighter before, kind of giving you that like just the headshot, but I felt like then she was floating. By giving her a little bit of this, a little bit of the, plus I like to show myself. You know, that's a little bit of Daniel in there. Well, in the previous shot. So that's the other eye, yeah. Now I could try to get both eyes in focus, but that's for another class. So, yeah, it would basically be a matter of just closing down.
I'm doing with class.
Yeah. All right, so questions, thoughts, concerns, right? We're making it, we're moving around. Now, because we're going moody here, I'm probably not going to come in and throw a reflector in because I feel like that would probably ruin it. So I'll just show you because who knows? One more time. One more time. All right. My composition is clearly more terrible when I'm holding a reflector. Hold this for me. All right, here we go. Good, good, good. Here we go. I'm blaming Marissa here. There's something funny going on. Good. Oh, why are you looking at me?
Oh.
Okay. Why are you looking at me all creepy? Yeah, bring the reflector in. The important thing with reflectors is that it reflects. Right, we're going to bring the reflector in, scoop some light in. You know, actually, it's not terrible. It's not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure I like this change that I've made. She's more sideways. I do kind of like that detail though. So let's have you move like this. Let's get a similar shot. So let's turn, face, stop, nope, too far. And then, there we go, too much. Yeah, and then we'll bring the reflector in. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, please. There we go. Nice. That's not terrible. All right, maybe I'm being sold on the
What's
reflector.
the name of your book? It's not terrible.
I'm being sold. I'm being sold on the reflector, actually. You're selling me on the reflector here. It's interesting how this actually makes her look not old, but older, right? A little more sophisticated, a little bit more angular. The neck is stretchy. So we'll go here. Well, that's like old Marissa. You know, young Marissa. Right?
The old space bar goes right to the hand tool.
The space bar goes to the hand tool. See, when I take my class next week, I'll know that, right? Well, we're creating two completely different looks. Softer, kind of more open, then we're doing more sophisticated, right? With really, this is just the same box, right? We're using the exact same box. I didn't even say one modifier, but hey, it's one modifier too. One light, one modifier, right? We're shaping it. We're trying to get the most out of it. Because one thing I always say, because people are always asking me, like, what should I buy? Once you've got something, right? Work it to death, right? Get everything you can from that piece of equipment. So this little softbox is giving us a lot of different looks here, right? We've got this kind of Moody look here. We've got that look there. We've got this guy over here. You know, our kind of classic look. You know, all just from moving the box around, really, right? We're literally just moving the box to different positions to give ourselves various different styles. Super simple, right? Really easy, one light, one speed light. This could be really anything. Small speed light, small box. Right? Make sense? Questions? Something you want to see besides the background being blue?
Use it as a background.
Use it as a background?
We could.
It's so small though. All right, I'll do it. Okay, last thing. Here we go.
What about that?
Oh, use this as we did that last time. That's how we ended literally the last one. Should that be like my ending thing, like Freebird?
Do it.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Seth wants it. I'll do it. Anything Seth wants. Jump up for me, Marissa.
No. I'm not getting blamed on this last name.
Yep. Okay, so over here in my other oven, my Julia Child's one, I've got octagon. This is a 3-foot octa. When you want to step into the big leagues, this is what you want. You pull this thing out, people are going to be like, oh, you must be a photographer. And then you can be like, well, the camera didn't do that for you? I don't quite understand. Okay, but anyways, big octa, it's one of my favorite modifiers. We're going to use it a little bit differently, although not different if you saw the last demo, than usual. We're going to put it behind her, and we're going to basically blast light past her as in making it our background. I guess I'm going to leave the grid on there because that's what I did last time. Or should I go just straight up white?
You're going to run out of power, I think.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of power on that. Don't bother.
I'm going to go no grid. You know, let's try it with the grid. My gut tells me the grid's going to basically eat too much light because grids eat a little bit of light because they're... But you know what? We'll try it. Oh, actually, I have a good idea. Oh, I think this is exactly what I did last time. Apparently, I think that at least I'm consistently have the same idea.
Good idea.
I'm like, I have an idea. Oh, that's what I did before. We're going to go like this. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, so the way we're going to do this is,
You're at 8.5.
yeah, I'm at 8.5. 9.5. I'm just going full power. Why? Because at the end of the day, you got to go full power.
You get paid more?
This is kind of a strange, you don't get paid more for going full power, but, you know. This is one of those strange exposures, and I think there's a lot of different ways you can meter this. The way I'm going to do it is I'm in Capture One, I'm tethered in, I'm literally just going to take a picture and go from there. I think it's just going to be easier to do that. So here we go. And I like to take the easy way out. All right, so here she is. There's Marissa looking all Marissa-y, right? Oh, perfect. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Daniel, I paid a lot of money for this demo, and that's what you're going to give me. But you know what? We got some Brooklyn reflectors, exactly. We're about to double it up. Oh, nice. You have to make that sound when you do it.
Silver or white?
No, silver. Silver on the bottom, white on the top. Or vice versa. All right, yeah, look like you're a maniac.
Look like Daniel on Thursday.
Okay.
No, look powerful. That's powerful? Hold on. Oh, you changed it. All right. Don't look at that picture.
That's powerful.
That's powerful. That's what she got for powerful. This is what Marissa gives me when I want powerful. What? There's too much exposure, right?
Nah. I just think we should drop the. Is this all? Is this?
Yep. It's as low as it goes unless we want to put it in a stand.
She's got to stand.
Stand up, Marissa, please.
You want to put on a box?
This is the finale.
Finale.
This is it.
You know what?
We're doing it. It's all coming down to this moment. We've waited a long time. It's like that Eminem song.
Wow, that might be too much.
It is.
All right, let's get you off the boat.
What's that song? You know the song I'm talking about?
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, with Mom's Spaghetti song.
That's all I know.
Yeah, me too. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah. Marissa's got Mom's Spaghettis. All right, here we go.
It's on Instagram, by the way.
What's on Instagram? Mom's Spaghetti. All right, so I actually turned the power down a little bit. No, I think I like the power where it was.
You need the power up.
Power up. All right, I'm going to go down to 5.62. I want to flare it. I'm going to cause some flare. We're going to have some spaghetti and meatballs.
Well, the grid is making it hard to balance.
Yes. Oh, wow. I keep getting you on a blink. What's up with the blinkies today? Oh, but it worked, though.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
That's not bad, kiddo. Look
That's
at
not
you.
terrible.
You're almost hired.
Oh, now you're going to check to see if it's focused. Oh, no, that's not bad. It's more or less sharp.
Old shaky hands, Norton.
Yeah,
It's all right.
that's not terrible. It's not the most out of focus things that have been in my life.
What are you at? 5.6?
I'm at a 5.6. I think I need more depth.
No, I think what we're gonna do is move one reflective farther away so it's not so even.
All right, so Seth's going to move one reflector further away, so it's not so even, thus utilizing the inverse square law. Math.
Only I was wearing a white shirt today.
All right, here we go. I'm also going to get further back every single time I take a picture for some reason. That's it. All right. Now,
See, she's got more of a jaw.
yeah, she got more of a jawline. I have her. Yeah, you need to be more crazy. Do like a.
Man,
More the
look,
color.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
That's almost a perfect hex going on there. I almost got a perfect hex even though it's an octagon. I know, it's crazy, right? That's the skills I got.
too bad she's wearing that dumb shirt, right?
That shirt is awesome. I
You
agree.
told me to wear this shirt.
Seth, you don't have to say the shirt's how awesome the shirt is. I do appreciate it, though. What's that? There's a link in the description.
There is not. You know what it is?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, you screwed it up.
you guys screwed up. That was my screw up.
Sorry, guys. You came all this way to only see Seth screwed up.
Let's go back one where I made your shot actually usable, you friggin' mook. Go. Please go for it.
All right, we're doing it. Here we go, guys. This is the one. That's it. That's it. That's it.
If you block the boards, they're not gonna reflect.
Don't block the boards, Marissa.
It kinda worked.
It's like you're falling from an octagon.
I was really-
Yeah, name that shot, guys. We'll put this as a contest. One more, I think. You got to be more powerful, like with your arms, like.
All right, so more.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Kneel before Zod. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Really?
You smell like SpaghettiOs.
I bet I do actually. I do like SpaghettiOs. Actually, I did.
Wait, you have to, you can't say
I-
that before.
Let's not
I-
do silver.
I did have tomato soup.
Let's not do silver.
All right. Phew.
All right, I'm ready. Powerful.
Forget all that other stuff just happened. We're gonna edit that out. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. This is it. You ready? We only have one more frame left in the roll of film.
This is number 37.
Frame 37. Oh. Oh, you were moving though. I hope you're not out of focus.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, okay. All right, you're nodding like it's not bad. What do you think? Is she out of focus though? She was moving? Yeah. All right, you can't move because this is not.
It's the first day. Relax. It's okay. You've only been on 643 episodes of OnSet.
That's probably better.
I look like a dude, like a.
You do look like a dude.
Probably a picture.
Well, I wanted to show the shirt. Yeah, I'll get on this side.
I know you want to show the shirt. No one. Just get the shot.
Oh yeah, she like pop. Like,
Yeah, pop it. Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's it. Show that shirt. And then we got it in close. Yeah, there we go.
oh yeah, that's gonna be the ad for this.
What is going on?
Well, I think if we put it, maybe we should put it on a stand. It's just not consistently. Okay.
I know it's not consistent, but
We'll just shoot a couple. Let's do it like a photo shoot. Work it.
work
yeah.
it, work
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
Okay,
Do
good.
it.
All right, then we got it, right? Right, and that's how you do it. That's the photo shoot. All right, so fair enough.
That's actually all right.
It's not bad as long as it's more or less sharp. It's Instagram sharp. All right, no, it's sharp.
No, it's
There we go.
all right. You
It's
got
good.
a
It's
little
good.
blow
It's got a
Okay,
little
now you got to breathe on the lens.
All right, this is WPPI all over again. All right, I'm going to breathe on the lens
Get on the left side of the frame.
on the left side of the frame. Hold on. You want her on the left? All right, so I guess that
Fog
might.
out the left side of the frame.
Oh, I got you. Well, I'm centering her because.
No, look at all this garbage here, right? Start getting the flare off of that side.
You
You
just
want to
fog-
be famous, right? Do it.
Actually, it's not doing anything.
Is it that good of a lens?
Oh, there we go. Okay, it doesn't stay very long. Okay.
Watch us do nothing now.
All right, here we go, guys. It is WPPI. It's out of focus. Like,
Go-
it can't autofocus through it, I don't think. I just want to see what it's got. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
No, you have to let it dissipate more. You have to let it. You
Yeah, I
can't
got
just
you.
go shoot it.
All right, we have to wait for dissipation. That's disappointment. This is my life.
You did this. You did this.
All right, that's probably better. There we go. That's it. That's how we do it.
Flare.
Yeah, it's sharp. It's got flare.
What filter did you use?
There you go. That's how you make a.
What preset?
All right, guys. So
Is that an Instagram filter?
it is actually. Okay, so you can buy my presets at no. So guys, questions? No. You're just like, what just happened here? Are you wondering what you did with the last part of it? Yeah, you got to give it a second. Like the computer does not like the.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's got a glow to it.
It's light and airy,
It's light and airy.
yet awkward.
Yes. Question in the back. Make it awesome. What does the fog actually do? No, so what the fog's doing is it's actually causing a flare. You see this is lens flare here? If you look at the one without the fog, you see it's blown out here, right? But here it has flare, right? See the lens flare? Little special effect, funky fresh.
Give me $400
Throwing it
for a
out.
lens filter that does
Yeah.
that. I got hamper breath doing it.
Is it still sharp or
I'm sorry?
like the subject is still sharp?
Oh yeah, oh she's sharp, all right. I mean, when you say sharp, what do you mean by that? Yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, she's crispy.
Actually, you can see this shaky guy right here.
Yeah. Self-portrait. Yeah. Yeah, she's sharp. Yeah, you know where she's not sharp though? In the first one that Seth made me do, right there. She's not sharp there. No, definitely not.
Well, let's see how much dynamic range we got.
Let's see if we can pull it back. Uh-oh.
Can we do it?
Here we go. I doubt it. That's really bad.
Right there. Right there. Yeah, that's not happening.
That's what you see, if, you know, as your the ghost in the machine. Yeah. So the point here is to play around, right? There's definitely this. You know, if you watch a lot of these, if you've been to any of these before, I often use a lot of lights, and we do as we grow and we start to change our style as photographers. We're going to use more lights. Using a lot of small lights gives you a lot of control, right? It gives you the ability to kind of pinpoint certain areas and control certain things. But if you only have one light, that doesn't mean you can't be creative, right? A lot of times when people only have one light, the first thing they gravitate to is putting it in a giant box, right? You notice I didn't just grab this right away and just shoot every shot. I used a smaller box. I used that first you know, what's that thing called, the bonnet, right? Which you could get something similar for your flash. I bounced it off a card. I tried to show you can do a lot of things that are different than just putting it in a giant box and creating flat light, right? Create something more interesting, create some style, right? You can still do it even with one light. And then when you reach a point that you're trying to do something else and you can't get there, that's when you start adding your other lights. And over time, you'll understand why you want to add additional lights to your kit. But having just one is great. Like, just if you just have nothing and you're just kind of shooting with the light in the space, having just one light's going to give you control. And control is really how we start to achieve mastery as photographers. Mastery.
Look at this journey you took.
Look at the journey we took from Marissa as a child to Marissa childish. So thanks, Marissa. And Seth. Woo! I'll be back next week. I know they're all running. We're going to do
I don't know what that says.
something happening next week. It's going to be fun. It's something about,
Somebody read that.
hard and soft light.
Oh, there you go.
So next week we're going to talk about using hard and soft light. So that's going to be a really fun one. We'll do a bunch of stuff. Please come if you can. If you can't, you can tune in here on Adorama TV or on Adorama's Facebook. I'm Daniel Norton Photographer. You can follow me on social.
1200sessions.com.
Oh, 1200sessions.com. Myself and Seth are hosting some workshops, kind of private instructional workshops, not done through Adorama. So if you guys are interested in kind of getting hands-on with the lights and stuff, check out 1200sessions.com. What else? Marissa.roper on Instagram. And yeah, what kind of pizza? Waldy's Pizza is good over the, I don't know, I feel like I'm pitching. Oh, the light panels thing. Did you put the link?
Yeah, I got the,
There's a deal on light panels. What is it, the Astros?
the 2x1 Geminis, the 1x1 Gemini.
The 2x1 Geminis and the 1x1. If you guys are filmmakers or stills photographers and you want to use continuous light, like really high quality, Light Panels is one of the kind of top companies, if not the inventor of, I don't know if they're the inventor, but they're one of the top companies in LEDs. You can follow this link. Seth's going to put it in the description of the video.
We've both done videos with them.
Yeah, we've both done videos. No, but just as far as like you can buy into it, I guess if a bunch of people, Adorama is doing this buy-in, so the more people that buy, the cheaper it gets. Is that what it is?
Almost half off.
Yeah, so it's pretty good if you're looking for it. We've done the videos with it. If it's something you're looking at, might want to check it out. I get 4 cents every time you go to the site, so I appreciate if we get at least 77 cents here. No, I get nothing for it, but it's pretty cool though. So if you guys are interested in light panels, but like I say, follow me. Seth is Last X Witness on all social. If you want to follow Seth, awesome photographer. And thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.